Okay, are we there? Today, I'm going to be talking about the self-made educator. The self-made educator. Now, why am I here today? I'm here to, they say emancipate. I think it was Bob Marley and then Rihanna that said emancipate yourself from mental slavery. I hope I'm very audible and you can hear me. You have to emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Nothing is going to happen to you while you're still caged mentally. Now, what is that cage? That cage is when you're an educator and all you are reliant upon, what you're waiting for at the end of each month is your salary. You're going to be in a cage. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that you should have to quit your job. You should stop being a teacher. You should leave the school that you are. That's not generally what I'm saying. I mean, I taught for 10 years. So you should know that I was in the classroom. But I was emancipated mentally. And that is the journey I'm going to rush you through right now. Get your notes out. Now, remember that name, the Smooth Teacher on Instagram. You're going to need to follow that name. Trust me, because what you're going to take from here may not be all that is going to blow you out because of the time we have. So, first of all, when people come to my training, I always ask the question. I ask you, are you in the teaching profession or are you in the teaching business? I mean, it's Jay-Z that asked that question. For those of us who knows, who people who are into music here, he said, are you in the music business or are you in the music profession? It's the same thing for a teacher because for a teacher, you can't always be thinking as a teacher. You have to think as a business mogul. You have to think like a celebrity that has made it. Always thinking as a teacher is going to keep you there financially. So again, ask yourself, are you in the teaching profession or are you in the teaching business? The teaching profession is where you come to class every day, do the same thing every day. After work, you probably go to lesson. You probably go to lesson, one or two lessons, and you go home. And this cycle begins and goes all through the year. And when it's time to check your account at the end of the year, you're still waiting for salary for you to be able to check what you've made. That's not the life. I've lived that life. A lot of us start out living that life. But do you want to continue in that fashion? No, you don't. What are we doing here today? At the end of this seminar, hopefully, you'd have learned one new way to generate money, new ways to engage in passive income, learn the gray areas of new trends. There are new trends in this money market that educator can key into. Educators can key into that. Learn how to brand yourself. Jesus Christ, learn how to brand yourself in the education space. I'm going to say it again. Go to our Smooth Teacher so that these things can start making sense. As I'm talking about some of them, you will know that it's believable. I'm not selling you a story. When Madam here reached out to me, Madam Modesayo, she reached out to me a year ago, but I think I wasn't in the country or something. Based on being a brand, I wasn't available. And she reached out again. We're not friends, we're not anything. But my value, who I am as a brand, has made her believe that she can reach out to this guy, engage with somebody she has never met before because his brand speaks for him. Everything I'm going to talk to you about is first-hand experience, highest second-hand experience, maybe based on a mentor, a mentee that I was mentoring. I have seen that I introduced this thing to this person and it's working. So I'm going to talk about it here. Everything I'm talking about here is doable. Nothing is imagined. And finally, you would have to take note on the kinds of things to occupy your leisure time with. Okay. Now, there are three things the teacher has to, what's the word, contend with. Three things the teacher has to contend with. Number one, the school. If you notice, the pictures I'm using, I'm not using Naira. I don't pass that level. and we need to go past that level. I'm not using pictures of Naira again, because that's not the future. If you're still stacking in Naira, you're on a long thing. Take notes, I'm not stacking in Naira any longer. Okay, now the school, what are the things you have to have in mind? One thing a lot of teachers do not know is that one can't really succeed in a school unless you align with the vision of the organization. What that school represents, what its vision are. You have to align so that everything works seamlessly for you. It is only then that you will have the liberty to express your creativity, because at this juncture, your creative explorations align with both the vision of the school and your core genius. Your core genius, what's your core genius? That thing you do that comes to you very easily. If you're in the teaching profession and you've been here for at least more than 5 years, teaching is part of your core genius. Teaching is something that can wake you up and you can just swagger through. That's your core genius. You cannot be in a place that stifles you and your ability to grow. You can't be in an organization. So I tell people that when you're looking to move from one school to another, at the end of the school year, you say, oh God, I want to move. What is the reason you want to? Is it salary? It's only salary that is making you want to move. You will keep jumping from one place to another because it won't be enough. But if you're saying this school is stifling my growth, this school is stifling my creativity. Oh, I have so many ideas, but this school won't let me bring it out. That could be a fair reason to leave. But if it's just salary, my brother and my sister, the hustle will continue. Now, road, you go to look. Every time you go to put CV out, you want to move on. Now, you cannot be in a place that stifles you and your ability to grow, either as a member of the organization or as an independent entity. Again, that's the school, the side hustle. The majority of why we're here now is, what can I do to generate money? If they ask, I don't know how many of you are there. If you're asked, one of the 3 reasons you are here is how to make more money, a side hustle. Even if you don't have to resign from your job, what can you do on the side, right? Okay, now, what are the things that we need to know? Now, the side hustle can vary. Sorry, I'm going to be using terms because I'm into a lot of investments as a teacher. I'm into a lot of things. So the languages they use, a diversified portfolio means you're into different things. Or maybe you are in real estate, maybe you are in fashion, maybe you are, those are the diversified portfolio side hustles can come in. Now, however, it is very important to note that side hustles that eventually become effortlessly lucrative are the ones born out of your core genius. Now, a lot of us sitting down there, you will say, I have side hustle. If they say, mention your side hustle, some of you will say, I sell bags, I sell shoes, I sell farm products. Oh, we have Gary, we have this. Those are side hustles, yes. But ask yourself, really, is it really so easy for you to do? Is it really the easiest thing? That business, getting the shoes, getting good profit and all those things. If you're struggling, it is not your core genius. It's not something that is born out. What I'm doing right now, speaking to you, is something that is born out of my core genius. I'm trying to let you understand. I'm a teacher. I talk for a living. I educate children for a living. So I am educating you now. This is just one aspect of a core genius of mine for you to get what I'm talking about. So when all of my hustles fall under talking to get paid, talking to educate, you will know that I will do it so effortlessly because my main job is to talk and to educate. But when I start breaking out and going to sell shoes, it won't align with this, what I am doing now. Even if I'm in an organization, I will be pimped to grow because over time, the management will be picking me to talk about presentations and things that can better the life of the teachers in the school. Even before I got to this level as a teacher, I had practiced all of this in school. I had honed the skills. I had developed the skills as a teacher, even without getting paid, until I became fantastic at what I do. So if you can build your side hustle to be within your core genius, it is always going to be very easy. Is it presentation that I don't use to teach in class? PowerPoint. Is it this? That is all the tools. These are all the tools I am putting into play. Now, I hope I'm making sense. That is what a core genius is. So core genius is simply something that you do best. As cliche as it sounds, it is that one thing that they can wake you up in the middle of the night. I mean, come and teach this topic. As long as you're in class, teach this topic. And you can do it with the littlest, the minutest resources. But if I want to go and start buying shoe now, now I'm not knocking your hustle. The economy is crazy. The economy is bad. We need something to do. But if you're looking to grow, if you're looking to become a brand as an educator, it's not by selling shoes and all those things on the side that will get you there. Long and short. Long and short. And it's not by just being in the classroom alone any longer that will get you there. I've talked about the school. I've talked about the side hustle. Now, the teacher. That is you. Now, we must understand that we are talking about a phenomenal educator. I mean, for you to get to the levels that we are all imagining, you have to be phenomenal. But don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about the most intelligent person or the person who speaks the biggest grammar. That's not what makes you phenomenal. You're just phenomenal in the classroom. You know the maths very well, but where can that take you? You need to start exploring outside of the classroom where all of those skills can take you. Do those skills help you in selling your shoes and your bags? And they don't. As a matter of fact, it will make people want to cheat you when you start speaking plenty English to sell something. So those skills you have, are they being used in your side hustle? Ask yourself that question. So the phenomenal teacher is that adaptive teacher, a visionary. If you listen to my profile, they said Microsoft this, Microsoft that. I mean, this MIEE that people are struggling, some people are just hearing about it recently. It is something that I have aspired to a long time ago. Now, I didn't aspire to it the way people aspire to it now, that you don't even need to use tools for you to get recognized. I'm the kind of person that when I use tools, the organizations will reach out to me. Like I said, follow out my Instagram page and you will see Microsoft will reach out to you. They will comment on your posts. They see you teaching in class. They will comment and ask you, are you this? Are you an MIEE? Are you this? And you're like, you don't even know about it. I wasn't chasing MIEE. I was chasing using my tools, my core genius. When you're doing your core genius, these things will come naturally to you. I was using tools before the pandemic, 2018. This online thing we are doing now, when people didn't believe in it, I used to use Skype to teach my children. I would travel to Senegal and my head of school asked me, as you're traveling now, who is going to teach the children? And I'll tell her there is something called Skype. We're going to use Skype in the classroom. When you're using things like this and you're posting it on your social media page, there's no way these companies will not take note of who you are. Trust me, I am not the most fantastic teacher. Some of you, your head will be blown right now. Say, this guy go on, they do mad things. I was doing the barest minimum with those tools. It's just that nobody else was doing it. Nobody was willing to rise above average. Nobody else was willing to use their data. When the school doesn't provide data for you, nobody else was willing. You will hear languages like, I cannot use my data. You will not grow beyond that classroom. That classroom is going to stifle you. You have to know what you want as an educator. I will come into school every day and I will turn my data on, because who do you want to go and start telling I want to use data so that I can do? I want to bring children from the US into my class in Skype. Where is the data? I just use my data and I do what I need to do. But when the results start coming out, the school will come back and take note of who you are. Even as a teacher, I was on management level already in terms of who can deliver something out of the ordinary. So I had started having online classes way before pandemic came, and people knew. I didn't know what Zoom was. I didn't know what all those Google Meet, because I used HP. It's a Microsoft. Most HP is mostly linked with Microsoft and all these tools. And so that was the easiest thing for me to just go into Microsoft tools, educate myself on some of their courses they were doing. Oh, Skype in the classroom. Oh, let me use this. You have to be a visionary. You have to think outside the box, and you have to also know that when you start doing these things, people will laugh at you. Your colleagues will make mockery of you. Oh, you like to show yourself. You like to. But they are not the ones giving you this seminar now. They are not the ones who are being chased or sought after to come and speak to teachers in Uyo. They are not. So when they laugh at you, you have to know what it is you want. People are going to make mockery of, oh, his page, he's always showing up, he's always this. I wasn't doing it for the school. Now, you have to be a lifelong learner, always learning, which is what you're doing now. Sometimes we do not even know the depths and the definition of lifelong learning. We don't know. We don't say, oh, lifelong learning. You don't know because it keeps going. But let me not dwell on that. Now, if you take a look at educators who you admire, I mean, as a teacher, if you don't have any educator who you admire, who you look up to, even if the person is not in Nigeria, you're doing the wrong thing. That means you feel you're the all and all. You don't need anybody. Even as I am, I have people I look up to. If you don't know people like Rhoda or Dr. Ogurudere or Idara in the teaching sphere online, you're doing wrong. If you don't know who I am, at least one of these people, then you're not aspiring to people who are doing things or organizing courses for you to attend to better your life. You're not. Now, all these people, there is a speaker here. I know her. I think her name is Nancy, Madam Nancy. I know her. She knows me online. I don't think we've met before. Maybe we've met at some seminars. But because she's out there and I'm out there, obviously, socially, on social media, our paths have crossed. So I know her. If she can hear me, respect to her. They all have, all these people I have mentioned, they have certain qualities. They deliver excellence. When they were in school, when they were in the classroom, the school culture, they're not people who run away from responsibilities. No, they adapt. They're trendy. They're risk takers. Put yourself out there and take a risk. And they don't procrastinate. You don't wait for everything to be perfect before you start. Now, the combination of all three of these things, the teacher, the side hustle, and the school, creates the perfect hustler. Once you can blend these three things together to work for you, we're building the perfect hustler. That is who I am. My hustle knows no bounds. I have 3 speaking engagements today. All of them are paid. The last one I have is going to pay me over 1.5 million because that is my own seminar and people are paying to attend that. That is who you should be as a teacher. You can't be a consumer all the time. Every time you are in one seminar, you are paying to consume, paying. When would you start applying what has been taught to you? The things I am doing today, I once attended seminars and learned these things, and now I'm applying. How do you pay money? Even if when you go out, you pay for a course, you're always consuming, paying. When are you going to produce something? When are you going to produce something that people will pay you for? Again, I said it, my last seminar for today, 1.5, the money has been paid. It's not like that. So you pay to attend, I get the money down. I'm a teacher. I sat down in class and created this thing that is producing money. So what are we saying? I mean, there's nothing so special about me. There are people there who know this maths. This maths where I teach, and I know I'm dying. What is coming out of it? Because you are sticking to just that one particular thing. I'm a maths teacher in the classroom. You have to be the perfect hustler. Now, what do you need to know about the side hustle? Number one, very critical, very important. You need to know that everyone's path to success is unique. It is different. Don't look at the next man and say, because this person, I mean, it's cliche. We say these things all the time. Oh, because David is doing TEFL, because he's doing that, because you must do it too. Is it not the same teaching? My skill is not your skill. So what is it that defines you? Again, if it is that shoe you're selling or the bag that is your unique part, then what are you doing in the classroom? Go into the back thing and let's know that that's what is going to make you blow. But if you're aligning two things that are they don't align with each other, you're always going to be mediocre. Number two, you have to invest in your side hustle. Now, as a teacher, what is the first thing we usually break out in the portfolio? What's the first thing teachers usually break out into? Lesson, home lesson. Now you're a lesson teacher, but in that same lesson, You are still doing the same attitude that you do in class. If they don't give me data, I can't do anything outside of that. If they don't give me this, if they don't give me, I cannot put a particular poster that I saw that was so beautiful that will help the children learn. I cannot put it in my class. The school is not giving me the this, the that, the that. When you start to invest in your hustle, that hustle will start to pay you. This teaching profession, if you don't embrace it and invest in it, you're just going to be floating and coasting. Mediocre. I'm an online teacher. I got to the point where I'm an online teacher. I mean, it's part of lesson. You get to that point. Like I said, I use HP laptop, but I'm a math teacher. There's no way you can teach math effectively on just PowerPoint when you're teaching online. Very soon, the person will say, my child is not learning, Jared, this, that. When you go to my page, my Instagram page at The Smooth Teacher, and you see the tools I use to teach, you will know that it doesn't come cheap. Some people will call me, hey, please, what's this tool you are using? Do you know how much I pay? I don't do free alone. I pay. I got to this level by paying, even when I did not have the money. But just because when I pay for these things, when the parents are negotiating lesson with me, I can use those things to increase my price. I'll let you know that I subscribe to these things every month. When you go to my page, you see that I'm writing on my screen. I'm a math teacher. You're at home. I'm writing on my screen. I'm telling you what to do because I use a touchscreen laptop. I bought an HP pen. I bought this. I invested in my hustle. So even when I'm working online with foreign companies, I am doing better than some of the white teachers there. Some of the white teachers tell me to come and organize training for them to see the tools I'm using. That is from somebody who has invested. Once you invest, it will eventually pay. But when you keep saying, they're not paying me enough, they're not paying me enough, that is where you're going to. And nobody's ever going to pay you enough. To be honest with you, nobody's ever going to pay you what you are worth. One of my bosses told me that thing, and then I realized only you can pay yourself. I mean, if I'm sitting down here and I feel like I'm making 1.5 million this evening, and I feel that that's okay for my worth in one day, only me if you pay myself. There's no school that will pay me 700,000 or 900,000 to be in a class in this Nigeria where we did as a teacher. So if you keep jumping and jumping, if they pay you that amount, they are going to kill you with work. The work that you would do, you will not have a life any longer. Is that the life you want to keep living? If you are not married, you ask yourself, where has my life gone? In how many years, no social life? What I'm saying is deep. Now, do not have a salary dependent mindset, which I've talked about. You can't be dependent only on salary. Know your strengths and your weaknesses based on constructive criticism. Even regular criticism you've gotten, people usually tell the truth when they want to insult you sometimes. Listen, if people have complained about certain things about you, go and work on it. In your side hustle too, you have to stand out. Like I said, when you hire me as an online teacher to teach your child, when I teach your pikin, you got to talk to, even for the pikin school, when they were doing online, they're not doing rich waiting this teacher they do. When Microsoft reach out to, look, leave that matter, let's go forward. Now, quality is remembered long after price is forgotten. The quality I'm going to bring to my presentation is what you will remember, not the price that was paid to get me to talk here, not that price any longer. As long as you can deliver value, price won't be a problem. Now, what makes you stand out? Because I said one has to stand out. What makes you stand out? Oof. Now, stand yourself out. Stand yourself out in your area of expertise, sort of like a brand. Like I said, if you go to my page, I'm not shouting, oh, I'm a brand. Oh, I help people to do one thing. Oh, I help people. I could just tell you who I be. I'm an award-winning teacher. I have this award, I have that. I'm a Microsoft speaker and this and that. My profile is not shouting all of that. But when you go through my page, when you reach out to me, I'm saying this thing, when people reach out to me on my DM, they say things like, Mr. Small Teacher, I like your brand. I have not shouted that I'm a brand on my page. Now, David did there. I didn't say I'm this. I'm David, the Small Teacher, but people have already seen me as a brand. It is your work that will brand you. It's not what you go about saying all the time. Your work should be what is speaking, because I know motivational speakers will say, oh, brag about your one teacher. It's not bragging without results. Just be posting the result. Now, the result will brand who you be. On my page, I did not write, I help teachers to learn how to make money or something, for her to reach out to me and say, David, come and talk. I didn't write that. But when she looked the lifestyle, on the page, she said, this guy, they make money. This guy sabi multiply money. This guy go teach people how to make money. That's what your page should do for you. Which brings us to number 2. You can't be a teacher in this day and age and not be on social media. You cannot. You just cannot. You are going to be, you cannot be known. That age of, oh, I'm a private person. If that is who you are, then be comfortable where you are in that your classroom that you are. Just because, but if you want to break new grounds, you have to be on social media. Again, that is my handle at The Smooth Teacher. Some of you who are just coming up, if you want to learn how to be posting things that say who you are, follow and you can see that. Social media is very important in creating your brand in this day and age. You have to be credible. What does credibility mean? Your results have to speak for you. Be known to produce results. Adverts, hype yourself, word of mouth. People will talk about you and things. Have a strong circle. Follow a group of people who are doing things that make sense. You can't do it alone. Obviously, even if you're in the bank or any, they will tell you that network is your most important thing. Invest in yourself. Invest in learning new transferable skill. Go to courses that they are teaching you a skill so that you can master that skill and maybe teach it someday. Again, you cannot always be a consumer, consuming. In Nigeria of today, if you are just a consumer, all of your 1 naira, you that are still earning in naira. If you follow me and you probably go to the seminar where I'm teaching how to earn in foreign currency by teaching online, maybe when you're earning in dollars and you're spending in naira, it's a different thing. But if you keep staying here, earning in your naira salary and being a consumer, by the time you pay NEPA bill, you pay transport, buy fuel, buy this, pay for cost, pay this, how much do you have at the end of the month? You're not producing anything that anybody's paying you for. Before, I used to think, they are paying me for lesson now. I'm doing lesson, they are paying me for. You're not producing anything because that lesson is dependent on that person. The person can stop the lesson today and you're done. But when you're a producer, it is dependent on you. Deep. When you find a +1 hustle, invest in it. You get a new hustle, invest in it. You get a new hustle, invest in it. Look good. You're going for lesson. Don't look like you cannot talk and say, pay me 100K a month or 150K a month, and then they will look at you. How? Invest in yourself. Step out of your comfort zone. That's your classroom that you go to every day and come back and then walk to lesson and step out of it. Learn how to negotiate. Even if you are doing only lessons, learn how to negotiate. A lot of us don't know how to negotiate. Sometimes when I hear how much some people are earning in lesson, I'm like, up till now, you're still charging that amount. Do what others are not willing to do or can't do. Like I said, I will buy a pen, HP pen of 140,000 so I can write on my screen. So that when I want to charge you, I will tell you the tools I'm using. You have to do what others are not willing to do. Again, focus on your core genius. What is your core genius? Gift of gab, sewing, if you're a home economics teacher, cooking, photography, art. What is your core genius? It is from there you can start branching out to do something. I'm not saying you can't do anything else, but something that you will do so easily that you can just wake up at any time, you're not stressing. This thing I am teaching to you, I have known it in my head. I did not need to go and create. This is a lifestyle. It's from my core genius. Now, this is the cocoa why we are here, the cocoa. What I have tried to do here is try to branch out to every subject, the majority of subjects that we have as teachers here. Something you can do to generate money. Now, sources of income. This is the teacher version. Number 1, lessons, like I've said, but you have to be able to negotiate. Number 2, online video content creator. Online video content creator. What does this mean? When you go to YouTube, if any of you, some of you want to use teaching materials in class, you go to YouTube and you see videos there. Oh, download for so topic. You search for so topic. Somebody has come there and is talking about the topic. You are always downloading. When will you start creating something that you are already an expert on? You know those things. are just topics. A particular topic you're good at. Start putting these things out there. And trust me, when you start doing good quality products, you have to invest in your hustle. People will start paying you. People will start paying you. Now, I said solo. If you noticed, I said solo, meaning you're doing it independently. Again, number 3, online video content creator. You can affiliate yourself with companies that are already doing this thing. You don't know how to do it yet. You can't start from start. A lot of us don't know. Oh, some of us are older age. Oh, how do I want to start this thing? Now, excuse me. There are companies that are already doing these things. One of them is ULesson in Lagos. They are looking for tutors who will come and do this. You're so good at this topic. Why aren't you using that skill to start making money? Why? It is just in you. You're not sharing, you're not doing, it's not bringing you. You go to companies like this, reach out to them. You go there and they pay you for the topics you're talking about. These things are happening. Transcript creator for animated videos. These same videos, the people who talk about this thing don't just talk again. You've come with your expertise. I want to do this topic. You've given the idea down. You've written the most important part. Oh, all the formulas and everything. You put it down. Somebody has to go and write a script so that it is marketable. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Please, I'm going to show a PDF. I need to know if it's the PDF you guys are seeing. Are you seeing the PDF? I'm no longer showing my PowerPoint. Are we seeing the PDF? Okay, I would assume that you're seeing the PDF. This is what a transcript looks like to those animated videos. Somebody typed this thing. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to do this, divide. You know, some of those videos, when you start them, this is how they start. At the end of this lesson, this, that, that. Now, somebody writes this transcript. It may be you who is creating your, I do this. Depending on your level of expertise in vocabulary, it is when your vocabulary is not good, but you're a good math teacher, they take this thing and give to a transcript person. But for someone like me, I'm good at math, I'm good at English. Now, me go write my transcript. Now, for this particular company, they reached out to me and said, somebody has written their transcript, but we want you, David, with your own expertise on vocabulary and math, to proofread it and make any adjustments. Now, look at this one. This is the first one. Now, look at the one I have proofread. The one I have proofread is this one. How do we know? Most of these words in bold are the words I added. So after collecting the transcript, I will now add. This was for ages 7 to 8, year 3. I felt that the vocabulary they were using did not explain it enough. So this a number wasn't put here, a number or a collection. Now, this whole thing, this ending we will now learn was not there before. So I added it. We will now learn about fractions that are equivalent. I mean, equivalent is a big word. This was the first time the year 3 child would have it. So I have to spell it there. E-Q-U-I-V, equivalent. So this is how I remodeled the script before it is made into an animation. So imagine if you are the only one writing your scripts. You're so good that they know that your vocabulary, the money where they're supposed to pay proofreader, you will collect it, and then you will create your own video. Imagine all the money that's coming to you on the side. This is for one topic. This script, I got 78 of these scripts. 78 of these scripts, as in year 3, one topic, year 3, one topic, year 4, one topic, year 4, 78. I charged them 5K. 5K per, this is me proofreading, oh, not be me write am. Me proofreading, I charge them 5K. 5K times 78. This is just an income that came on the side in a month. Do the math, 5K times 78. Let me do the math here. So that we'll put this thing into context. 5K times 5, 390,000 on the side. I still have numerous hustles I'm doing. This thing took me about 1 week to do, focused 1 week. I don't do lesson that week. How much, which lesson wants to pay you 400,000 in 1 week? No lesson. After work, I will go read. After work, I will go read. 390K, easy. This is one hustle. Imagine this is one hustle. I get seminar where I go still do 1.5 million. What do I want to think about salary for? What do I want to think about school salary for? The school salary is just for me to have credibility. That if people go online, when they want to start asking questions, where do you work? Because if they don't see all of that, they think you're a scammer. So when you go see, say I did teach for school. You go see, say I did do this. So I'm not going to worry my school. I'm not going to worry them. I don't know when they pay salary because my side hustles, you can see what core genius means. I am making good money from my core genius, my expertise. What I'm saying to you now is so golden, you can't get it anywhere because not a lot of people have lived the life I live. These things where they talk is I they live this life. So they come off for body. I'm not telling you what somebody else is doing. Let me not dwell on this. I hope people saw my screen and what I'm talking about. So when I write some things, I tell you what I do or what I don't tell people make them do. Now, to be a tutor for specific exams, again, you can see everything I'm talking about here revolves around education. Again, if you go to my page, you will see me. I teach IELTS. I'm a math teacher. I still teach IELTS. You may be good at SAT, you may be good at something. I have good writing skills. So you engage me again. You engage me again. How much do I charge for IELTS? Depending on what it is. I charge 10 to 15K per class. Per class. I do these ones on the weekends. So money for fall, money for one thing. A money person just do one IELTS class. I bet once the person pay me, we will go buy fuel. Money for fall, no, they come up for my body. Money for this, no, they come up for my body. Money, I have not even started touching my salary because I have branded myself. If I put something out there now, I am credible enough that people will say this guy is always delivering excellence. That's the excellence I talked about. Is somebody saying something in the chat? Your time is almost exhausted. Okay, so let's wrap this up. I will just breeze through without explaining. An online teacher in a foreign school. I just helped one of my mentees get a job in a foreign school after they attended my seminar. Make yourself a brand. When you make yourself a brand, you become credible. When you make yourself a brand, people abroad can reach out to you and say they want you to collaborate with them. Look at what I said. I admire your teacher brand. I know shout here, I be teacher. I don't talk anything about teacher. Schools abroad are reaching out to me. Hello, Mr. David, we can't wait to meet your students and things like that. Look at Oluchi. This is Oluchi, the supermodel, looking at me and saying, how can we monetize this idea that you have? How can we monetize it legally? Anybody who knows Oluchi, anybody who is older than knows Oluchi, the supermodel. Like I said, I was the first African pioneer. So I'm not an ambassador that people just say, oh, I'm a Twinkle ambassador. I'm a this. I get paid to be this brand ambassador. I get paid. Now, there was a time when during the summer holiday, we just sat down moping and thinking about what to do, home lessons and all of that. All of that has changed now. People who attend my seminars know how to get online teaching jobs that they are teaching foreigners and making dollars during the holidays. I also write articles. As a teacher, you should be able to write articles that are published abroad and you get paid for that. Again, consult for schools, become a facilitator. What I'm doing now, Moodle. These are people in the ICT department. Moodle builder. I don't know if some schools there use Moodle